Hello, World of Tank Blizzards, it's Littlefinger. Hey, doing a full tank review on the SU-100Y. This was a request made by a subscriber. Hey, if you haven't already, please make sure you hit that subscribe button below. It really helps me out a lot. You can see here, summer 2019, we are on the Normandy map in our garage here. And here is the SU-100Y on the 75th anniversary of D-Day. This tank is huge. Let me just show you some comparisons. Here is the SU compared to the Hellcat. That is quite a size difference. You know, all of these TDs here are pretty small. How about the gun carrier? Yeah, there you go. So this is, in my opinion, the biggest weakness of the tank is its size. It is difficult to keep it concealed. The other thing that we're going to need to spend a little bit of time talking about is ammunition. If you notice here on the left-hand column that typically for your premium ammunition, you get a higher pen, less damage. Just the opposite on this tank. You're going to get higher damage but less pen on it. So keep that in mind as we run through these games. Just real quick, here's how I'm loading out the equipment. You can see calibrated shells, defense system, camouflage net, enhanced gun lane drive. Our aim time is horrible in this tank, but so is our shell velocity. But I guess that's kind of neither here nor there. You know what? I'm going to change my mind here, and I'm going to go ahead and get those 55 extra hit points here. This tank only has 60 mil of armor all the way around, so 4% of that's really not helping out a lot. So those 55 additional hit points might come in handy. So I'm going to change my mind there. I'm going to go with engine accelerator, vertical stabilizer. I go back and forth on these ones here: enhanced tracks and consumable delivery system. All right, guys, so out of character here, I'm going to go ahead and jump straight into a game here, Vineyard's bottom tier, Supremacy. And the reason I'm doing this is what a bad game looks like in this tank. And you will have bad games, primarily because this tank has the lowest DPM of any TD at the tier, and it also has the second worst dispersion. As far as I could tell, the SU-100 has 0.389. This tank has 0.3417. There we are, bouncing the side of the Panther M10. And so I've pulled up here the ammunition. You've got your AP, you've got your premium AP, and then you've got HE. Now, my recommendation on this, guys, is to start with HE and then work your way backwards. If you're not going to pen with HE, switch to your premium AP rounds. You can see at 180 mil of pen is really good, and you're going to do 530 damage with that. Now, here's a second shot. You can see that gets duffed into the dirt. We're spotted. We're going to pull back. So you've already seen one shot kind of off target a little bit. We get off the side of the M10. Second shot, nowhere close. Finally, we're able to get a shot in, and there we have 513 damage. Now, this is one of my earlier games, and I'm still trying to figure this tank out. And so you can see here, I am primarily shooting AP. Now, granted, your premium AP round is a little bit more expensive, so you're not going to make as many credits. So keep that in mind, especially if you're, not on premium or you're grinding credits. Now look at this. I'm aiming to the left, and that shot goes to the right and hits the windmill. So, you can expect some frustration there. We do manage to get one into the M4. But I'm hoping to get a kill shot here on T29, and look at that. We just track him. So even though I managed to get about 5 shots off there, I only did 1,000 damage. And when you've got a tank that's averaging about 500 a shot, you know, you really, in my opinion, I think your goal should be to get 3 shots that land, if not 4, and you should be right around the 1,500 to 2,000 damage per game. But as you can see, you know, we did everything we could for the most part there with aiming those shots. It's just the dispersion got us, and that's just a fact with this tank. All right, guys, here is the SU-100Y in blitzhanger.com. I think this does a good job of summarizing the tank. We've got the equipment laid out like I showed you previously, and you can see here we're coming in at 954 hit points with the approved assembly. Firepower, this is what I wanted to point out. Your damage per minute is the lowest, 11 out of 11 with your AP round. Your pen is right up there, 3 out of 11. Your damage at 460 is the top. If we switch over to your premium ammo here, we do get that damage per minute up. We're now kind of middle of the pack, but our pen drops. But even at 180 mil, these tier 7 heavies are going to have 120, 130. So pen shouldn't be too much of an issue with the premium round. And then if we switch over to HE, this is your first taste really of a derp gun. And you know, for an HE gun, this is your highest damage. It's a 130 millimeter gun. So, you know, this is derp territory, right? So you can have some fun with it. If we just move on down here and look at the gun handling, like I said, 10 out of 11, we're next to worst pretty much when it comes to aim time, dispersion. So you got to be real patient with your shots. You've got 5 degrees of gun depression. Didn't say negative. I didn't say negative. 5 degrees of gun depression, 15 degrees of elevation. And yeah, there we go. 64 tons. It's obviously the biggest tank out there. And mobility really isn't too bad at 35 kilometers per hour. The problem is that it's so big, it's hard to hide. So let's look at some decent gameplay now and go through some of my thoughts on that. All right, guys, here is a game on Mirage as bottom tier. Now, one of the things obviously I'm harping on in this review is the size of this tank and how do you protect yourself. So one of those ways obviously is to stay as far to the outside of the map as possible and just try not to get spotted. As you can see, our team spotted up this Challenger here, 0 armor on it, so I switch over to HE and just do a low roll. So would have been better to have the premium ammo there and kind of been able to max out my damage. And as you notice there, backing out of the way, we did get shot. You know, I think this is one of the few tanks where I would say it's acceptable to trade shots. For the most part, you're going to be giving up 140, 160 hit points. And hopefully, if you do things right, you're going to be giving about 500 in damage. So I think that's a fair trade. So we're far on the map here. We take our second shot. Obviously, that KV2 was low health, and he was just wanting to get to the garage, I guess. But again, you know, you can see here I'm just backing up and just trying to stay out of sight. And then I can sneak in and just keeping an eye on the mini map and try to get shots in. I was trying to shoot under the train there and managed to get that WZ. You know, and it did take me a while to get comfortable to know when to switch over. See, now I'm at the premium ammo. I think I might have switched back before I took that shot, just because, keep in mind, your standard ammo has the highest pen, but it does less damage than your premium ammo, which has less pen, doesn't do as much damage. So anyway, all my guys here are kind of in the middle of the map. Smashers here on the outside. And I want to get a shot into him. And quickly just snap one in there with a standard AP roll. He's going to be 2 shots for me regardless. So might as well go ahead and make sure I have the higher pen. I wasn't going to kill him on 1 shot. So still got a couple hundred in damage left, and he's looking the other way. So we can finish him off for our 3rd kill. And you can see now we've got Cromwell and SU on the Reds, and we got 3 guys swarming them like crazy. I'm a little bit slow, so I'm just going to go up to a high point and hope one of these guys crests, and I can get a shot in and just really get their hit points down. He's going to stay on top of the hill there, and we just put in another AP round. And you can see they're all 1 shots at this point in time. So not much else I'm going to do in this game. But as bottom tier, you know, you saw there not a lot of action as far as movement goes. But we were able to pick and choose our shots. Get a level 2 mastery out of that with 3 kills, 2380 in damage. And top on the team even though we were bottom tier. Alright guys, here we are, top tier Yamato Harbor, one of the few maps where there's a good TD camping spot. And what I want you to notice in this game is how I use this rock formation up here to try to protect myself as much as possible, even as we're getting swarmed by a VK and a Leo, or the MT here. He comes rushing in here. But notice where I'm at. I've moved over to this rock formation here, and I'm just trying to stay behind the rocks. And obviously with such a long reload time, not much we can do. We've got the premium ammunition loaded here, hoping this Sherman Firefly will nudge himself over the corner. Got tired of waiting for it. Here comes the VK now. He's going to stop. Give me time to switch to HE. 595. Nice little roll there. Here comes the Leo now. But I'm back behind this rock again, right? These guys have got me spinning all kinds of crazy. KV's finally going to come back here and get some support, but we are down some serious tankage, and I bounce a Leo. How is that even possible? So that's the frustrating thing. When you start missing shots in this tank, and you've got to wait this 16-second reload time, and I just want to get down here and kill this Leo, and he's already taken out. So I'm going to switch over to premium ammunition, get into the side of the KV2, and leave about 75 hit points on the table. That could have gone my way, but it didn't. He's not looking. Now he's looking, backing up. Dodged his heat round, and we finish him off. And it was a quick turnaround there. You know, it was looking kind of bleak for a minute. But again, I'm just backing up, trying to get out of any line of sight, so I am no longer spotted. And we're going to pull back up. Both of their TDs, as you can imagine, are in the TD spot. So really just need to get some spots on them here. Switch over to HE. Didn't really need to, as he'd taken 3 shots there. But now it is just me and Zebra up, and 2-on-1. I'm pretty much a one-shot to these guys, so gonna need him to get me some spots. How about that shot? Yeah. Bouncing the SU. So, like I said, you're going to have some frustration with this tank. This gun, with its super long load time and gun dispersion, are really going to troll you. But you're also going to have a lot of fun with it, especially when you can find some squishy targets to put HE into the side of. But we're just being patient at this point. We got time on our sides. Zebra's going to do the right thing here and push on up. He can take a shot. There he is. Just need to get him to come around. There we go. 596 ammo rack. Finish him off for our third kill. 2275. I actually got a steel wall because of that silly Leo driving around me. But like I said, if you can stay in the game and you can get 4 or 5 shots in, you're going to be in the 2000 damage range, and that's pretty good for a tier 6. All right, Lost Temple, top tier, and yes, we are going to go up to the temple, and we're going to try to use these rocks as shields for as much as possible, but it may not work out that way depending upon which way the enemy reds decide to go. Obviously, one of the things with this tank is it's pretty tall. You can actually shoot over some of these rocks where you might not be able to see over. So it looks like they're going to come around the side. I'll go ahead and get behind this bush and behind the KV2, and we'll get our first shot to go in there. Finish him off quite quickly. Again, trying to use these rocks in the buildings to protect ourselves as much as possible. Another KV2, and we bounced the front of it. Oh, the frustration. Having to wait 16 seconds to get another shot off. It's kind of annoying. It's not my favorite play style. Here we have a Sherman. I'm going to switch over to AP, do 542, and finish him off. That was the premium round. We've got a Hellcat. Doesn't have hardly any armor whatsoever. So we're just going to switch over to HE. Luckily, he misses that shot there. And as I'm coming around the corner, there's KV2. Yeah. Finish him off. But it's going to cost me a shot from that Hellcat. And I don't know if you noticed there, down there was an AFK player. So really it's 2-on-2 at this point in time. There's a full HE roll into the side of him. But now he's got me on a one-shot. Now if he knows anything about this tank, he's got to realize that he can reload twice in the amount of time it takes me to reload once. So I don't know why he didn't bounce back out there and finish me off, but I guess he got scared. He is going to take out the KV2, so now it's really just a one-on-one. Got to be real careful. I can't miss my shot. He doesn't know. Well, maybe he knows this guy's AFK. So I'm just going to back up, making this angle a little bit easier for me. And he's going to come way too far. Slow turret, and we finish him off. He wasn't ready to shoot. And so that was a nice little fun little ending there to that game. Showed you how I use the rocks as much as possible and switching over ammo types on this tank to make sure we did 2,000 damage. Alright, so here's the last game I'm going to show. I just wanted to throw this one in here because this to me typifies summer 2019 and just the state of gameplay. For me on this map, you always go hill. And As a TD, it's extremely difficult for me to be effective in the buildings. I can't hide. I can't use ridge lines or anything like that. And so I'm going to push up high. We'll get our first shot on that AMX. And I'm just playing this whole thing at 2x speed just to get it over with, to be quite honest with you. But anyway, yeah, we're bottom tier here, right? And there's a nice little snapshot in there. 5 degrees of gun depression really doesn't help out. And this really bothered me here with bounce the first one off to Jackson. And keep in mind that my average roll should be 400. 386. We left him with 2 or 3 hit points there. And as you can see now, our team is going to, I'm sorry, average should be 460. So we got at 380, we got an extremely low roll. Should have finished that guy off. And he takes 2 more shots out of me. So that's 500, close to 500 hit points I lost just because of that low roll. And now this VK is blaming me because I'm the last one alive, so it must be my fault that everyone else died. And there we get our last shot, 575 max roll, and now we're dead. And you know, we did 27, 26 in damage. That's almost 3 times my hit point pool. And we look at the VK on down, none of them even did equal to their hit points. You know, that's a decent player, 56 win rate, but yet has to complain about me because he thinks I'm out of position doing the max damage that I can do in this game. So anyway, guys, you know, that's you know, my mini complaint about summer months and playing this game. But anyway, this is a big tank with a big gun. It can be a lot of fun, or it can be really painful at times. But never lost any money playing this game, even if you shoot AP all day long, your premium AP all day long. So have fun with it. Just try to hide it as much as you can and stay on the outside of those maps and, you know, work on that map awareness. That's where it's at. So as always, guys, have fun, get educated, not fingered. Littlefinger out.